Julia was working from home that day, as many people have during the COVID period. She was off duty, walking her dog, not in uniform at the time of this incident. Potentially, but of course we're offering agile working. It's perfectly acceptable for people to have a screen break during the course of the day, so long as they complete their hours, as many employers are allowing at the moment. It was a working day for Julia, yes.
Just follow on from that, can you just clarify, you said she's based in Canterbury, supporting victims of domestic violence. Was that at Canterbury Police Station, and how are her colleagues there coping?
Yes, she was at this stage of her career specialising in supporting and safeguarding victims of domestic abuse. She was based at Canterbury, clearly less so of recent times because of COVID restrictions. Yeah, her colleagues are very shocked, very upset, but as previously stated, we're supplying considerable enhanced support to those staff, just to ensure their welfare. But yes, it's had a significant impact.
Have you changed anything about how police officers work in this part of the world? Anything changed in your policies because of fears for their safety?
No, we haven't. It's policing at times can be dangerous. You can't remove all risk from policing, but we're carrying on policing this part of the county and the rest of the county in the normal way.
Do you fear this individual might carry out another attack and might lead to another murder?
As I said, all options are being kept open. I have no information to suggest that is the case. I'm not linking this to any previous offences, so there's no indication of that being likely, but of course we're keeping all options open to us and working very hard to identify the person responsible for this offence. And again, please, if members of the public have got any information at all, however minor, please report it. It could be incredibly important to the investigation. It's impossible for me to say at this stage. Murder is a crime type with a high rate of being solved, but of course at such an early stage in such an unusual offence, it's impossible for me to be drawn at this stage.
Was she fully clothed when we found her?
It's not appropriate for me to get into details of the crime scene. It's very important that hopefully when we get to a point of a jury hearing the circumstances of this case, their knowledge is not undermined before the trial.
You're still appealing for witnesses. Anyone who saw anything suspicious on Tuesday and Wednesday. Can you give us any more information perhaps about what Julia was wearing at the time that might jog anyone's memory, and any more details of things that they could look out or think about that they may have seen?
I think we're just interested in anything from particularly a local resident that seemed out of the ordinary, that seemed unusual, that seemed different, that seemed suspicious. We've already had a lot of calls from the public, some really useful information. As I said, some may be relevant, some may not be relevant, but I'd really encourage people to tell us everything, because it helps us piece the whole story together. We can make that assessment of whether it's relevant or not, but it's hugely useful, but as previously stated, probably not appropriate for me to give a running commentary on each of those different strands, but please rest assured we're taking it really seriously.
Give us a sense of what your officers are doing today. You can see still a lot of activity in the fields surrounding where Julia was found.
They're conducting a meticulous search of the area, looking for physical evidence, looking for forensic evidence, as you would expect in a case like this. That's could prove incredibly important. Once again, it's not appropriate for me to get into that level of detail. What I can say is we're exploiting the crime scene to the absolute maximum with specialists in many fields, and I am confident that we will extract every evidential opportunity from that scene, but I'm not going to get into detail of what we have or haven't found at this stage.
Did she suffer multiple blows, or was it just believed to be a single blow?
At this stage, I'm saying that she died from significant head injuries, and that is plural.
Are you stymied by lack of CCTV and some of the things you've come to rely on in recent years for solving crime?
The crime scene is in, as people know, a very rural location, so that does mean some lines of inquiry are less available to us, but of course we will still consider closed circuit television. There are opportunities in the surrounding areas, but certainly not in the immediate vicinity of the attack.
One more question then, please.
Could you just tell us, in terms of the distance from her house and where her body was found, how far away was it?
It's relatively close proximity, a few hundred yards from her house on the edge of the fields where they meet Ackholt Wood.
Okay, thank you everyone for your time. Thank you. Tom?
Can I just have your attention, please? Anyone that would like to get a photograph of Mr. Richards over at the scene should remain here. Anyone that doesn't need one is able to leave. Okay, thank you.
All lines of inquiry.
You now know that it's more than one person.
Which one is it? This one? This one?